Hi, it's Mrs. Pope, and today we're going to identify polynomials and get down some of the basic terms we're going to use for this unit. I'd like you to pause and actually write down the definitions that you see here, but leave a little bit of space because we're going to fill in the examples. So you may want to copy it down as you see, leave a little space for examples. Please do that now. Okay, welcome back. Let's talk about our goal for today. Our goal is to identify polynomials and state their degree. We're also going to write polynomials in standard form. So if our lesson is successful, by the end of the video, you'll be able to do these things. Let's quickly look at our terms. A monomial, key prefix mono, a number or variable, or a product of a number and variable or variables. You can have no negative exponents or variables in the denominator. So let's look at some examples of a monomial. It says it could be a number, 5. That's a monomial. A variable, x. That's a monomial. A product of a number and a variable, 5x. That's a monomial. A product of a number and multiple variables, 3x squared y cubed z to the 4th. Ha! Still a monomial. Even though there are many pieces, it's still just one term. There's no addition or subtraction. Binomial. I figured out that means 2. So the sum of 2 monomials. So you can take any of these two and add them up, and that will be a binomial. So let's say x plus 5. That's a binomial. We could have 2x squared plus 11. That's a binomial. We could have 2x plus 4xy. That's a binomial. Get the point? Polynomial, now that you see what's happening, it's a general term. It's just the sum of monomials, or the standard monomial itself fits within a polynomial. If you say polynomials, you're including monomials, binomials, trinomials, any kind of nomials. So therefore, we can figure out a trinomial is the sum of 3 terms. So a polynomial can be anything. You may want to write an example that it still could just be a monomial, or it could be a binomial, or it could be a trinomial. Or you could have 17 terms listed, doesn't matter. Polynomial means many of them strung together. A trinomial is the sum of 3, so x plus 7 plus y, or x squared plus 11x minus 8. That's a trinomial. There are 3 terms joined by a plus or a minus sign. And the degree of a monomial, what we're going to be finding, the degree, it is the sum of the exponents of its terms. So we will look at that. If you have a monomial, let's go back up to here. The sum of the exponents. So we have a 2, a 3, and a 4. If you add those up, of course you get 2 plus 3 would be 5, plus 4 would be 9. So if you add those up, your degree of this polynomial would be 9. It's the sum of its exponents. So here, this only has an exponent of 1. So the degree of that monomial would be 1. Now the degree of a polynomial, so if we have some put together, it's the greatest degree of any of the terms in the polynomial. So let's look here at our trinomial. We have, this has a degree of 1, that has a degree of 2, and then there's no variable, so it has no exponent. So the degree of this polynomial would be 2, the highest degree of the little part. We'll look at this a little bit more, but that's the basic idea. All right. Let's move on. Example 1. Let's identify the polynomials. I gave you the example. I want you to say, is it a polynomial, yes or no? What is the degree, and what type is it? So let's go. X. Is it a polynomial? Yes. It's just a variable. What degree does it have? It's the exponent? 1, because I don't have anything else to add it to. What type? This is going to be a monomial. All right, let's look here. What do you think? Is this a polynomial? Sure. What's its degree? Well, we need to look at the degree of this one. So that's r to the 1, x to the 1, 7t to the 1, u to the 1, v to the 1. It tells me I take monomials and add up their exponents to get their degree. So this would have a degree of 3. This would have a degree of 2. So the degree of this binomial is going to be 3, the larger one. And I just said what it was. Of course, it's a binomial. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we think that's a polynomial? There's some negatives in there. Yes, it is. What's the degree? Let's look at the exponents. That's 2, that's 1, that's 1. So the highest degree here is 2. And what type is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're past trinomials. We don't call anything else after that anything other than polynomial. I hope you are having as much fun as I am. All right. 10x to the negative 4 minus 8x to the 8th. Is this a polynomial? You should be screaming, no. No! No, Miss Pope, it's not. Why not? Well, because of the negative exponent. You can't have a negative exponent and be calling yourself a polynomial. No, it is not. So does it have a degree? There isn't one, because it's not a polynomial. What type? There is one. There's no name for nothing. So, I've given you E and F that I would like you to write in your own, make up your own, and I'll check these on your notes. Make the example, decide whether it's a polynomial or not. At least one of them needs to be a polynomial, and state the degree and the type.